This is such a lovely story, Des. And I know you're a very modest man. We were chatting just before the break then. You're saying, oh, I'm just doing what everyone would do. But I think you're not. You're doing a lot more. How did this makeup idea come to you?
Oh, it goes back to last October. And any time Mona she uses very little makeup, but any time she would, she'd always turn to me and say, is that okay? And I would say, no, you got it here and you got it there. And her eyesight was very poor. So on the occasion of my birthday, which was last October, she was decided she's going to get her face done up professionally. So we went into Debenhams in Waterford, and Rosie O'Driscoll was the makeup artist there at the benefit counter. So she said she'd take it on. And she said to me, get lost while I'm doing this.
Have a coffee.
Exactly. So I came back while she wasn't finished. And I said, well, you went a little crooked there. And that's not too good there. So, of course, she then handed me that, you do it, she said, you see. So as I did it, one of our pals photographed it. And that's all. We went and had our party and enjoyed ourselves in that. 2 days later, she phoned me and she said, oh, by the way, you're gone viral. Now, me and viral, I thought that was a medical condition.
A disease.
Yeah.
You've gone viral.
Just, you know.
Said, oh, I didn't feel a thing.
Exactly. So we don't have Facebook or whatever those other things are. And everyone was telling me, oh, we saw you on this and that. What Rosie did was she sent the photograph with the little story of, here's this 83-year-old man putting his 82-year-old wife makeup on because her eyesight won't do it. And everybody sort of said, ah.
But because it is an art. It is an art. What did you think, Mona, when Des said, come on, let me have a go? And then you had some lessons from Rosie.
Yeah.
Did you
well, I was actually delighted because, excuse me, all my life, I think growing up, 4 girls in the family, I don't think we ever had anything except a pot of Pond's cold cream between the whole lot of us, including my mother. And so it was new to me. And when I met Des, he hated people wearing a lot of very heavy makeup. I kind of followed along, drifted. And I did what I could when I was going out anywhere, but it was never very much. And then suddenly I had this transformation, if you like, and I absolutely loved it. And the whole thing about it was that I felt I didn't look made up. I felt comfortable. I felt that... Thank you. Thanks, Eamonn.
Yeah. So...
and I'm actually now, I'm thrilled with it. And I love doing this bit of makeup every morning.
So how much does Des do? How often does he do it? Because you've only got 50% sight in one eye.
Something like that, yes. in one eye, yeah.
I want to ask you something about the trust and the love you have for your husband. You guys go back 50-odd years, 56 years or so. The difference between you as a couple and us as a couple is whether my wife had her sight or not, she wouldn't trust me to do her makeup, right? So she would have an opinion. She would just assume the worst, that I wasn't doing it right. How do you trust this man so much?
Well, you know, it's a funny thing, Eamonn. Anybody who's talked to me about my makeup has asked me the same question. And I just cannot see any reason why Des wouldn't do it. I don't mind. I'm just delighted to sit down and have it done.
Isn't that lovely?
Apart from the fact that his career a lot has been in the theatre, so he's used to makeup anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, when they were still using sticks of number 9 or something.
You look so professional, Des. I'm looking at these pictures of you here. You know, you've got a steady hand.
You're like an artist there, so you are.
I feel like I could put myself in your hand.
I just like using that little pencil. I find it tidier than the brush.
Yeah.
And then when it's finished, I just get the other end of it.
And you see, that's what started it in the beginning, because he said to Rosie, I could do that. And she said, well, here, do it. And she threw him the brush. He happens to be ambidextrous. So he makes a scene of doing this eye with this hand and this eye with this hand.
And why is it so important for you, Des, to help Mona do her makeup?
Well, it's good. For me, it's just natural. She needs something. I mean, I feel that any husband and wife of our age, we love each other.
Oh. Yeah, and something else about being our age is something that I have noticed very much. Because we live in the country, because I can't drive, we do our shopping in Waterford. So we drive in every day and then we go for our cup of coffee. While you're doing that, you notice an awful lot of elderly couples looking after each other and, you know, helping each other. So we're not the only ones. The one thing I do notice, however, is that when you see an elderly couple coming in, the man usually sits down and the woman goes for the tray of food. It's different with us.
Well, look, everyone is saying what a beautiful love story this is. Jew on Facebook says, my wonderful husband has looked after my every need day and night since I was diagnosed with a brain tumour. I can't thank him enough for everything he does for me and our girls. James says, my wife has very advanced dementia. I do her hair and makeup every day, and there's a lot of you telling us stories like that. And Em sums up what many people say, what a darling man Des is. He and Mona are lovely.